Hi there, I am Quenita Walrond, and I have had a lifetime of service in the Rotary family. I have been an Interactor, a Rotaractor, and now a Rotarian. So let's talk a little bit about my journey. So as an Interactor, way back when at my high school in Queen's College in Guyana, I was an Interactor with the Rotary Club of Queen's College. And then when I started university at the University of Guyana, I was invited by some friends to join the Rotary Club of Georgetown Central. And I stayed there. We did some really amazing work. And before departing for further studies, I was our club service director. And then many years later, returned to the Rotary umbrella, returned to Guyana, and now I am the immediate past president and club learning facilitator of the Rotary Club of Demerara. We are really proud to be committed to doing some really meaningful work in our community, and to really go back to the very beginning and take on the question, what stands out to you most from your time as an Interactor? I think the biggest thing that sticks with me is the fact that even as we were so young, we were really committed to making a difference in our world. And to do that, it was great that we had the Rotary umbrella that provided some measure of structure and safety for us to go out into our community and help the elderly or do an environmental cleanup campaign. We just wanted to help. And this was the best way that we could do it. We were teenagers, we wanted to have fun, and this was a really safe space for us to be able to gather, that our parents would approve of course. But at the end of it, it was just that we were committed to making a difference in our community, and it was something that has followed me my entire life. I have been committed to service from the very genesis, and here I am as a Rotarian. So after graduating high school, I started university at the University of Guyana before going abroad to study. And the opportunity revealed itself that I could continue my journey through Rotary as a Rotaractor. Now, my parents both led by strong example where service was concerned. My father was a Rotarian with the Rotary Club of Georgetown, and my mother was an inner-wheeler of the Rotary Club of Georgetown. Now, as any good teenager committed to her anarchy, I decided that I would join a Rotaract club that was not related to my parents' Rotary Club. So I joined a sister club, the Rotary Club of Georgetown Central. They had sponsored the Interactor Club of Georgetown Central, and that's where I found my service home. Now, my Rotaract experience actually really shaped my future outlook in terms of my professional pursuits and my attitudes towards what it could mean to have your professional life lead into your service life, which also leads into your social life, which is kind of like the Rotary ethos all at once, you know? And at the Rotaract Club of Georgetown Central, that is where I really found opportunities to get in touch with my own sense of purpose, my own self of future planning. I remember we had a club retreat, and there was a facilitator there who helped us to make 10-year plans. And that was my first exposure at being planful in that way, in such a really tangible and meaningful way. And I crafted a 10-year plan for my life, and I actually utilized that plan, and Rotaract gave me or gifted me that particular life experience that has served me well throughout my entire professional life now, because I am a very planful and methodical person, and I've had a career in managing projects professionally, and that all found its genesis in that experience through Rotaract. And apart from that, the importance of professional networking and connection. Now, as Rotaractors, given our age and stage in life, we were all now starting our careers and so on in a range of different fields and different disciplines. And now, here we are, 10, 15, 20 years later, we are all, by and large, captains of industry now in this season of our lives. And those connections that we created in Rotaract endure today. And though some of us are still Rotarians, some of us have moved away from the organization, but those connections and those friendships that you make stay with you for the entire life course. At least for us, we were blessed that way. So that really does add value to our professional lives today, because that fellowship, that service, that joint commitment to purpose, and getting to know people from all walks of life that you probably would not have been exposed to otherwise, has really been a bedrock in terms of even easing my transition back to Guyana when I returned. So for the past 6 years, I have been a Rotarian, a member of the Rotary Club of Demerara. And my membership of the Rotary Club of Demerara has really connected to, or there has been a string of connection through Interact, through the Rotary Club of Georgetown Central, and now Rotary Club of Demerara. What the three had in common was the fact that we were committed to grassroots community support. Our club is known, we are known as being the Bush Boys, or, well, I guess if we want to be politically correct now, we call ourselves the Bush People, because we do service projects in remote areas in Guyana. We are committed to having members actively serve our communities, whether it's through our active reading corners or spending time in the company of youth, whether it is doing health screening for the elderly or decorating our senior citizens' homes for Christmas. We like to be a club that is active within the community across different echelons of our society. We are very big on promoting education and development and learning and training and upskilling, especially of young people. And that has been something that has really been significant for me throughout my Rotary journey, is to be able to give not just money, but of time and effort and mentorship. Those are things that those were values that were instilled when I was an Interactor. It's things that were poured into me when I was a Rotaractor. And now as a Rotarian, I also get to feed that back into the world, back into the youth that we work with, back into the community service projects that we engage in, and the club service activities that we do to strengthen our bond as a club. Now, has my perspective on service evolved? I think it's deepened as more than evolved, because the ethos has been so very clear for me in terms of being able to help wherever I can and help wherever we can as an organization. So there's been a real deepening or strengthening of that, because, of course, by virtue of professional remit, we are able to now not only finance the work that we do, but also leave an impact by our commitment with our hands and our thoughts and our minds and our resources. So for me, that has been the enduring thread throughout my journey from Interact to Rotaract to Rotary. Now, how does that shape the way that we are able to engage as Rotarians? I think at this phase, apart from being committed to improving the outcomes of persons within our country, within our community, within our district, we are also now fortunate enough to sit in a position of mentorship of those who have that similar desire. And now we've created a roadmap, just like those before us did. And I'm just really proud to be a Rotarian and proud to have devoted my life to service in this way. In terms of advice to young people who are interactors or rotaractors, and giving them kind of guidance in terms of continuing their journey through Rotary and under the Rotary umbrella, I would say that these are the best days of your life. It's where you're going to meet persons you probably would not have had an opportunity to encounter during the regular course of your life. You are going to meet persons who share a similar value system as it relates to helping and wanting to contribute in a meaningful way to society. I think that it's a great opportunity to build really strong and lasting friendships that will augur well as you enter into your professional life. The saying is so true. Your network determines or can determine your net worth. And fellowshipping and learning from and growing in and loving persons that you probably would not have had a chance to meet before really can help you to grow your career and have you enter into spaces that might have been closed off to you, because you never know who can be speaking well of you in a room that you are not yet in. So having those connections and having somebody be able to be your advocate without you even knowing or thinking it, because being a Rotarian, by virtue of our four-way test, already sets you apart as somebody of character, somebody of virtue, somebody of worth. So continuing along that vein and really entrenching yourself in a service life, it adds so much value to not just your day-to-day existence, but truly your sense of purpose and sense of worth. I mean, now I'm a parent and my children come on service projects. They are being inculcated into the habits of service and the benefits that come from that. They learn empathy, they learn human connection. And these are important non-academic or soft skills that you wouldn't necessarily think are important, but they really are necessary. So I would encourage any young person who already has that seed of service planted within their heart to make it a lifestyle, make it a habit of mind, a habit of practice to do good in the world. And yeah, just go for it. You're going to have so much fun, engage in conferences, learn from people throughout the district, throughout the world. I mean, Rotary is a global organization, and you set yourself up for satisfaction on so many levels when you go through this journey and through this process. When it's all said and done, I truly hope that my legacy speaks to a lifetime and a lifestyle that's committed to leaving the earth better than I found it, to helping people and having that kind of longevity of just doing good in the world. We all need a little bit of magic. The theme for my Rotary year when I was president was the magic of Rotary. And that really is something that is really profound for me, because when you're able to gift of yourself, that karma finds its way back to you in so many different ways. And being able to know that you've made a meaningful difference in the life of somebody whose circumstances might not have shifted had it not been for your effort or your endowment or your contribution, even if it's just your time or a listening ear, that really fills me with a sense of purpose. I think that Rotary has been a real gift and a blessing to me, personally, professionally, in so many different ways. Socially, I am just really thankful that I'm able to surround myself by like-minded persons, and like-minded being that we're tied to that common goal of service above self. But we are so diverse and so different that it opens up your perspective so much more. It broadens the length and breadth of your thinking when you encounter persons who have conflicting ideas or who are able to bring different perspectives and worldviews. So it really does open you up in so many positive ways. So here we are. Let's continue serving each other and just leaving a positive legacy, uniting for good, doing wonderful things in the world. Thanks.